This video is all about Vincent.
Get out of here.
Okay, you have to be good, okay? You're on camera. Hi YouTube, it's Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to my channel if you're returning. This is Vincent. Say hi, Vincent. She's not gonna talk on cue, of course. But a lot of people have asked about Vincent, and this is a requested video to do a video about her. And yes, she's a her, pretty sure. I'll explain that later. So I've got some notes over here, and I've got this bird on my shoulder, and she's gonna chew on my clothes because that's what parrots do, and she'll make some sound effects, and hopefully she will talk to you some. But if you have watched my videos before, you've heard her in the background, and she's gonna chew on my earrings. She's already done that a couple times as I'm prepping, so I'm gonna take those off because I don't want my earrings ripped out of my head, Vincent, okay? All right, so I've got some notes on the screen. She's choking me. Why are you leaning off my shoulder? Just sit there. Be a good little pirate bird. Say hi to the people. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right into this. Let's see, I'm looking at my notes here. So I'm in different attire today because I have her on my shoulder. So birds like to chew on things and birds like to poop. And of course, Vincent likes to talk. So at some point in this video, she's going to poop on me. So I have my zoo shirt on from when I volunteered at the Houston Zoo. That's what that logo is. That has had all kinds of bird poop on it because I was in the bird department at the Houston Zoo. I volunteered there for 3 years when I was in high school, and that's when I got into birds. Stop chewing on it. I really don't want holes in it though, Vincent. I can wash the poo off, but I can't fix the holes. You don't need to chew on my ring either. Now I have to take that off. Hi. So I also have a towel in the chair behind me to catch poo so that it won't get on my chair. And I'm gonna get some holes punched in my ears, I guess, too. All right, so Vincent, and I hope you can't hear the noise over here. I think the neighbors have a washing machine on. It's very loud. So Vincent is an African gray parrot. African grays are from Africa, obviously. And I got an African gray because I wanted a parrot that talked. She's listening and agreeing. So I wanted a bird that talked, and obviously she does. And the African grays are the second best talkers next to the green-headed Amazon parrots. I hope y'all can hear her. She's talking in my ear here pretty softly, but hopefully you can hear her too. And forgive me for looking over at my notes here. So how did I get her? I got her from a local breeder in Houston. I went to a bird show when I was 19 or 20 looking. Wow. See, that's what I don't like, and that's what I try to cut out of the videos. That is ear piercing to me too. And nobody likes it when you do that. You have to learn to stop. You gotta stop that. It's annoying. All right, so I went to this bird show and I found a breeder there who actually lived about a neighborhood or two over from where I was at the time. It was an older couple that bred some birds in their house, and they had a gray that was about to lay some eggs, and I got one of those. So I actually made my first payment on Vincent when she was still an egg, and I think her mom had 2 eggs and one of them didn't make it. So Vincent was an only bird. So I made the payments on her, and then I went over and helped hand raise her. I helped hand feed her. There's a formula you can make for birds, and you put it in a syringe and you feed with the syringe. When you put your fingers on the side of their mouth when they're babies, it's like the mom's mouth being on them. I don't know if you could see that very well, but you do like that on either side of the beak, and they'll put their head back and do the feeding behavior. So I helped with that. I helped hand raise her and holding her in towels and stuff to keep her warm. Because when they're born, I don't know if I can find some pictures of her on my hard drive to show you what she looked like when she was a baby, but when they're born, they don't have feathers, and then they get pin feathers, which, if you know about a fountain pen, a feather fountain pen with the quill, it's basically just the quill coming out, and then the little feather sprouts from that. So Vincent is 17 years old now, and African grays live in captivity about an average of 50 years. So that's why I got her when I was about 20. I knew the life expectancy, and I wanted to get a gray when I was young enough that we could live our lives together, and hopefully I'll outlive her, because I'm the only home that she has known, and I would hate to have her be an old bird and only used to me, and then I'm not there anymore. Flight with her is a weird thing. She's kind of a strange, unusual bird in that way. So the breeder told me, and I knew this from the zoo too, that once she started flying and learned to fly, that I should clip her wings, and that way if she ever got loose, what you want to do with birds is you clip one of their wings. And I'm not talking about like if their wing is basically, you've seen a chicken with their wing. The wing is the part that you don't want to cut is like the arm. Yeah, I'm right. It's like the arm, you don't want to cut that because of course that would hurt. But off of the arm is all the feathers, and what you want to do is take the biggest feathers and just cut those. So on one side, so when they fly, they're thrown off balance and they don't get the wind under the wing because the feathers aren't there. So they come back down. So if they ever get loose, then they land on the ground where you can get them and they don't fly away. So that's the idea behind clipping the wings there for a pet bird. Hi, Vincent. Apparently I did that too soon because I was paranoid about her flying and getting loose. So after the first couple of times she flew, I clipped her wing, and the problem was that she never learned how to land. So, oh yeah, that was a little sneeze. So she knows how to fly, but she doesn't like to fly because she never learned how to land, so she crash lands. She has gotten better at it. Generally, she'll only fly for two reasons. One is if something scares her and she kind of jumps and all of a sudden she's in the air and didn't mean to be. And then she's like, when she's flying, she's kind of in panic mode. She's trying to figure out how to get back down. She's gotten better about navigating in the air, but she just doesn't fly enough to really have the practice, even though she's 17. She's not your strong suit, is it? Flying, no. Vincent, I call her a girl, I call her she, but Vincent is a boy's name, right? So I name my animals, except for Baron, who was already named when I got him. I name my animals after different artists. So Sebastian is named after Bach. Vincent is named after... Hello, Vincent. Vincent is named after Vincent van Gogh. So I chose that name because with African Greys, you can't tell the difference between male and female. They're identical. You wouldn't be able to figure that out unless you went in and did surgery and looked at inside parts. And of course, I'm not going to do that to her just to figure out whether she's a girl. So the reason that I figured out, or I'm pretty sure, there she went, she pooped on me. Thanks, Vincent. So the reason I think she's a girl is that birds love to chew on things, don't they? Yes. I would give her these toilet paper tubes and paper towel tubes. And with the toilet paper tubes, instead of chewing them up, she'd put them on the bottom of the cage and just sit on them. And she would fluff out her feathers and put her, what are you doing to my hair? Stop pulling my hair. She'd fluff out her feathers and put her wings down over the toilet paper tube. Are you having fun? And she would just sit on it for weeks at a time. Where are you going? You trying to get down and chew on stuff, huh? You're getting bored up here, aren't you? Yeah. So birds have, I've heard them compared to toddlers. They have short attention spans, and they're kind of like 2-year-olds. So that's why she's goofing off here. She's getting bored. She wants to go down and she sees some things on my desk and some shiny things she wants to go chew on. But I don't want you to go down there and chew on those things. You're supposed to be on the video because people want to see you. They do. People want to see the pretty bird that makes all the noise. So, here, you can get a close-up of her. Hi, Vincent. Ooh, look at the camera. Look. Oh, she's going to chew on the camera. Whoops, sorry, Vincent. It's not focusing on her. Yeah, so that's why I think Vincent's a girl, because she showed nesting behavior with the toilet paper tube, sitting on it like it was an egg. And to this day, she still does that. I first discovered it many years ago. But anytime I give her one of those, and I don't know why she thinks a toilet paper tube is an egg. It's kind of weird, but apparently she does. That's my nose. Like I said, she's an African gray. There are two kinds of African grays. There's a Congo and the Timna. She's a Congo. They look different. So Congos look like her with the bright red tail and the light gray feathers and the white face. And they're this size. You can get a sense of what size she is sitting on my shoulder here. The Timnas are a little bit smaller, and they're a little darker gray, and their tails are more of a maroon rather than the bright red. They are flock birds, and they tend to have one mate for life. I'm her mate, so I, helped raise her, and that's why I helped raise her, is I wanted to bond with her, so I'd have a bird that I could, do this to, and she wouldn't attack me. She kind of looks like she's attacking me, but I can go up and most of the time I can go up and pet her. Sometimes she gets annoyed, or she doesn't want to be touched or something, or I'm trying to put her back in her cage and she knows that's what I'm trying to do. So at those points she'll bite. She gives me a warning first, and I'm good at reading her body language to be able to tell. You can get a nice shot of her tail there. There she is. Pretty good at reading her body language, and I can tell when she's about to bite. So I back off. I don't want to get bit. She can not take your finger off, but she can definitely break your skin and draw blood. She does bite everyone else. I'm the only person that she lets touch her. If anybody else gets close, she'll put her head down and fluff her feathers out like she wants her head scratched, but it's just a trick. Then they stick their finger there and she bites you, and she's very fast. She's like a snake, aren't you? You're like a snake. You bite people. You just spring and bite people. Huh? It's not very nice. It's bad manners. She eats, of course. What I feed her is a mix of two things. So I give her some Zupreme pellets, and those are rainbow colored, and they have all the nutrients that she needs. And I got those because that's one of the things that was fed to the birds at the zoo. And she also gets a mix called Fiesta Parrot, which is a seed mix. And then she gets 1 peanut per day. That's her favorite thing in the world, is peanuts. In the shell. And she's so funny. She laughs. Yeah, there she goes. She laughs.
You want to go over? No.
I don't know what that was. You want to what? She clears her throat. You're getting some good stuff from her. I was thinking if she was on my shoulder, here, she'd be a little quieter than in the background.
Baron.
Baron. That was good. That's one of my dogs.
Vincent.
Vincent, that's you. This video is all about Vincent.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. It is. It's all about you. Get out of here. Don't chew on my eyeballs. I need those. So her food. So she gets 1 peanut a day in the shell. She loves those. That's her favorite thing in the world. And that was a dog whine. And then she also gets a mixture of whatever fresh fruits and vegetables we have that day in the house. I'll just chop some of those up and give them to her. You leaving us again? Where are you going? You want to get stuff to chew on, huh? Here. You're not really supposed to chew on this, though. This is mine. You're not supposed to chew on it. Oh, you want it to scratch your head? How about I scratch your head with my fingers instead? How about that? Yes. You're very distracting. It's hard to do this video with you. You're crawling all over me and you're talking. Where are you going? You gonna go get stuff? Don't chew holes in my shirt. Don't chew holes in my shirt. Stop it. Hey. That's no. 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 She does know the meaning of the word no, for sure. She hears that a lot. You can see why. It's lost focus on me. There we go. No. Stop it. Stop. This video is turning out to be much longer than I thought because of the interruptions here from this birdie. Hi, bird. Hi, bird. Ooh. Yeah, I snuck up on you there, didn't I? Some acrobatics. You gonna turn upside down for people? You wanna turn upside down? Show them how you can hang upside down? Look. Look at that bird. What an acrobat. An acro bird. I tell her she's like a bat. Na 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 bat bird. I've tried to teach her that for years. She's never picked it up. Hi. Oh no. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Are you gonna regurgitate? I think you are. You gonna regurgitate? So one of the things birds do for their mates, in addition to their baby birds, is they regurgitate food for them as a gift. So it looks like that's what she's doing for me right now, which I think is really gross, but I don't punish her for it, of course, because it's a natural behavior and she's being nice. She's saying, here, I love you, have some food that I already ate. Did you get anything up? So she'll get it up and then she'll, hi. She'll get it up and then she like shakes her head and it goes everywhere. So that's one of the many things I have to clean up with having a bird, living with a bird. Birds are a lot of work. I do not recommend them to anyone who is just casually thinking about one and doesn't really know anything about birds. If you are thinking about a bird, you need to really do your research because they're a lot of work and there are a lot of birds that are abandoned. Birds are kind of dirty, and I'm going to show you this later. I'll show you her cage and around the apartment a little. Grays in particular have this dust that they emit, and I don't know if that's come across on the camera at all when I've scratched her head. Put your head down. What are you doing? You won't let me scratch your head right now? You don't want to? You want a head scratch? What are you doing? What are you doing? Boop. 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 I got your nose. I did. Want to give me a kiss? She knows about kisses and she'll make the kissy noise, the smooch noise. Give me a kiss? What a good bird. What a good bird. Okay, let me get back to what I was saying. So, food, I was talking about food, right? And where am I on this thing? I moved it over. Okay, so the next thing I was going to talk about was the sounds that she makes and some of the things she says and like how that happens. So there's nothing that I have taught her on purpose. She just picks up stuff on her own. A lot of what she does are sound effects, and then she'll also pick up things that we say. A lot of it has to do with patterns of behavior and speech that she will pick up on and repeat and be part of that pattern. She makes only a few noises. She makes only a few noises that are bird noises. Most of what she says, like 99.9% of the noises and sounds that she makes are things that she's picked up from humans or from her environment. So they're not natural to her. Two things that I can think of that she does on her own. Now she's let me scratch her head. Hi, pretty bird. Oh, you're so pretty. You're so soft. Did you see that dust? Did that come up on screen? So this dust gets all over everything. It's very dusty. You can see it on my shirt here. You see all that bird dust? So that's all from her. So if you're a clean freak, and I am, be aware of that if you're thinking about a bird. So two things that I can think of that she makes noises on her own. One is if she's frightened, like if I come toward her with some big object that she's not familiar with, like if I'm carrying the vacuum around the room or something, or if I have a towel. She doesn't like towels because that's what I use to catch her when I'm gonna clip her nails, and she knows that. So when she sees something like that, she'll make this loud growling noise, like ah, something like that. Kind of like that, but louder and scarier. The other noise that she makes on her own is kind of rare, and that's when I have her out, and usually she's on my desk and she has stuff that she wants to chew on. Like, I remember one time I was typing on the computer and she was on the desk and she was trying to pull keys off the computer board. And I would tell her no, and she knows what no means, so she stopped and she backed off. And then she'd go for it again. I'd say no, and after a few times, hi, are you waving? Hi, can you wave? What are you doing? She does wave. I don't know if that's what that was, but... And see how her feathers are down right now? She's getting frustrated with me for some reason. I don't know if she's bored or she heard me say no a few times. Hi, what are you doing? She's making this little fussy noise, which is actually what I was just talking about. That's where I'll tell her no repeatedly and she gets frustrated and she starts literally huffing and puffing. What are you doing? You trying to step on me? So she literally will huff and puff and she'll go like that and she'll get all fluffy. Won't you? You get frustrated. Yes. Oh no, what is it? What are you doing? Why are you doing your feathers like that? And your foot? What do you want? What do you want? Huh? What is it? What is it? What's the matter? You're gonna go in my hand? What, do you want to go see the people? Want to go see the people? Get a little change of pace there? I put it in front of me so hopefully it'll focus on her. Say hi, Vincent. What a beautiful bird. Ooh. Here, come here. You want to go upside down for the people? Want to go upside down? Whoa. You almost did. There. Go upside down. Go upside down for the people. Do your acrobatics. Woo. There she is. What you doing, silly bird? What you doing? Hello. There you go. Wow. What a nice bird. What a good bird. She's beautiful and talented. Oh. Yeah, I think she's getting frustrated because she's making this huffy puffy noise. I think she wants to either play with something, chew on something, or go back home. So let's get through this and wrap this up. Let's see. So I did want to tell you about some of the things that she picks up. So like I said, she'll pick up patterns of behavior and speech, and then she'll do that. So for example, and she's never learned anything from the TV. It's all been from real life. I thought that was interesting too. So she knows the names of everybody in our family and all the dogs in the family, and she knows who they are and calls them by name. And sometimes she calls them by the wrong name. Like she calls me Baron all the time, but she also knows that my name is Autumn and everybody else, and she'll call them. And she'll also talk to them when they're not here. Like my mom's dog Ginger, she was at my mom's house recently, so she's been talking about Ginger a lot lately. And then my mom's dog Lily was over here recently, so she's been talking about Lily a lot too. So a minute ago, the boyfriend was in the kitchen cooking and she was making the beeping noises of the microwave. In the mornings when I leave, I say I love you. So when she sees that I'm leaving, like I get my rolling cart, she starts saying, I love you, I love you. And going to bed at night, she'll make the sound of us turning the locks on the door, and then she'll say, come on, Baron. Like if I say goodnight,
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah, that's because I was talking about Baron, huh? Yeah. Good night. Did I confuse you? Good night. I think I confused her. Good night. Good night. We're going to bed. Come on, Baron. Good night. That's somebody knocking on the door. Bye-bye. Can you wave? Hi. When I get the dog leashes by the front door, she'll say, do you want to go outside? You want to go outside? You ready? You want to go outside? Uh-oh. The dogs heard me. They're moving around now.
Where's your brother?
Where's your brother? We say that a lot too. So one of the dogs, they're both boys, and either one will get them to go outside or go to bed or whatever, and we'll say, where's your brother? And she started saying, something landed on my nose. She started saying, where's your brother? like Brudder. So we started saying that too. Oh, she gave Sebastian his nickname, Bat. So Sebastian, my dog, I'd call him Sebastian, and then I shortened that to Bastion. That was a dog whining. That was Sebastian, wasn't it? You gonna poop again? No? So I would call Sebastian Batchin for short, and then Vincent started calling him Bat. So now that's his nickname. So Vincent gave Sebastian his nickname, didn't you? You go into the kitchen, she says, get out of here. You've heard her say that a few times on this video. The reason for that is in our old apartment, beyond the kitchen was a little storage room where the laundry was, and that's where we had, when we had a cat before we had Baron, that's where the litter box was, and Sebastian would go in there and get in the litter box and eat things. It was gross. So every time we saw Sebastian go into the kitchen, when he was usually going through the kitchen to go to the litter box, we'd yell at him, get out of here. So Vincent picked that up, and every time anyone went into the kitchen, she would yell, get out of here. So she still says that, but it doesn't have to do with the kitchen anymore, does it? You just like to say it. Well, now she hears it because Baron is always getting into stuff. He gets into the trash can and stuff. So we're always yelling at Baron to get out of there. Huh. He's so much trouble. When the phone rings, she'll say, hey girl, because that's how Paul answers the phone, or it's how he used to answer the phone when his mom was still here and she would call. He'd say, hey girl, and then he'd have a conversation. She has phone conversations, so when the phone rings, she'll have a little conversation and she'll mumble things that you can't understand. And she also sometimes just has her own conversation, even if the phone hasn't rung. She'll be like, hey girl, hello, okay, bye. Or she'll say a string of numbers like 3, 7, 4, 5, 2, 1, and they're just random numbers. It's nobody's actual phone number. Well, birds are very sociable animals. I have her cage out in the living room here so that she's in the middle of everything, so that she can communicate with her flock and be part of the flock, because they are. What? What was that? She also, in the mornings, she'll mumble things. It tends to be in the morning. She does it sometimes throughout the day too, but usually in the mornings. This is when she's trying to learn something new and she's practicing. So she'll just like, and that's her practicing and trying to work things out. The newest thing I heard her say, I swear I heard her the other day say, good Lord. And I haven't heard her say it yet, again. But yeah, she said that. At least it sounded like that. Hello? Why are you behind my head? You're hiding from me. Where are you going? What are you looking at? You're looking at the candle? Did you just figure out that there's stuff behind us? Whoa. The dogs, the relationship with the dogs. So how does she get along with them? How did they get along with her? So when I got her, I had her before either of the two dogs. And Sebastian I got when she was already about 2 years old, and he was a puppy. So I made sure that I introduced them and kept an eye on them. And before too long, Sebastian figured out, actually, I was going to say he figured out she wasn't a toy, but I don't think he ever really treated her that way. Sebastian was just never interested in her. And I would feel comfortable, because I know they've grown up together and he just doesn't care about her. I would feel comfortable leaving them alone together, and like even locking them in a kennel together all day while I'm at work. I would come home and they'd both be fine. If anybody's not fine, it would be Sebastian, because he got bit by this one. But she would be fine, he would be fine. And with Baron, my other dog, so with him, we met several dogs from the adoption agency before we decided on Baron. And Autumn, that's me. You're Vincent, I'm Autumn. So we met several dogs at the adoption agency before we met Baron, and I got them, and they came over to the house and were around Vincent to see how they would react with her and with Sebastian. So other dogs were more interested in eating her. They had more predatory behavior, and Baron just didn't show that. He was a little curious about her, but he didn't really care that much. after we adopted her, if she would be walking around or she'd fly somewhere, he'd get excited about that and want to kind of chase her, and we'd stop him from chasing her, of course. And if she's walking around on the floor, he would come right up to her, but only if her back was turned to him. If she turned around and looked at him, he'd back off. And then one day, eventually, he got himself a little too close to her mouth end and got his nose bit pretty good. And it didn't break the skin or bleed or anything like that. She just pinched him really hard. And ever since that day, he stays away from her. He's kind of scared of her now. And that's a good thing, because he could really hurt her. And I need him to be scared of her so that I can trust them alone. If, you know, if they're both out and I need to go into the other room for a minute and then come back, I can feel confident that he's not going to eat her. Now, what she does to him is another story. Isn't that right, Vincent? But Baron knows to stay away from you. Yes. Yes, poor Baron. One thing you'd want to know about birds if you are considering getting one, and again, I do not recommend having a bird unless you really know what you're getting into and you know about birds. What are you doing with your foot there? She's not touching me. She's chewing on her nail or something. So, one thing about birds is a lot of people get them thinking, oh, it'd be cool to have a bird, especially one that talks, and then they end up being a lot more work or a lot dirtier and more destructive than people are aware because they didn't do their research properly. And birds are dirty. They poop everywhere, and you can't train them not to do that like you can with dogs and cats. And she gets bird dust everywhere. You saw it on my shirt there. So our apartment is almost always very dusty. We have to dust more often than most people because of that. So you have to know what you're getting into, and that's the reason that a lot of people get rid of birds that they get, and they end up, there are a lot of abandoned birds in sanctuaries, and the birds have emotional issues because they've been abandoned. Birds are intelligent, and they have feelings, and they bond, at least this breed bonds to one person. So if they feel bonded and then they get abandoned, it's heartbreaking for them. So one of the things that birds do is they start plucking their own feathers out. And then once they get feathers out, then they start plucking into their own skin and kind of eating into their own skin. So luckily that's not something Vincent has done. She is overall a very happy and content bird. She's getting pretty frustrated with me right now. She's getting tired of being on my shoulder. We've filmed this 3 times now, at least the end of the video, and the video camera stops recording at some point, and I don't realize it because it doesn't give me any indication until I go back and review the video. So this is the 3rd time we're refilming the end, isn't it? Yes. So, let me bring up my notes again and see where else we are. Traveling with Vincent. So I lived in New York, and she went with me, and she lived there with me. And I have a little travel cage for her. It's just a small cage that I put her in for being in the car. And a lot of birds get really stressed out. Like most birds get very stressed out easily. And she just doesn't. She's except for right now, you're biting me. That's rude. That's a bad bird. Except for now, because she's just tired, like a toddler gets tired. And then she acts out. She's a very happy and content bird, and she's very mellow, and I never had any trouble with her in the car, other than sometimes she gets a little car sick and will regurgitate food, but that's not a big deal because it's not like a dog or a person vomiting. It's just tiny pellets of food. It's not anything liquid. That was fun to know, wasn't it? So she's a very mellow bird, and I've just been very lucky with her. She's a great little birdie, aren't you? Are you a great little birdie? What are you looking at? She wants to get into my purse and my other stuff on my table here. Hi, can you whistle? You did it. That's the third time I've tried to get her to whistle, and she finally did it. Yay. She's so funny. Oh, you think she thinks she's very funny? She is. She will, when we laugh at something, she'll laugh with us. Oh, really? Really? You need to go to bed. You need a timeout. That's what, oh my, no, that's not okay. That's not okay. That's a bad bird. Don't be bad. Don't you bite me. That's very rude. So she needs a timeout. That's what my YouTube friend Model Chick NY was saying in another video. I think the Hermes video. She must have been making a lot of noise in it. And she was like, Vincent needs a timeout. You do need a timeout. She was right. You need a timeout. So I'm going to take you over to her cage now. I'm going to put her away. I'm going to show you her cage. There's Sebastian. There's Baron, crazy person. So this is Vincent's cage here, and it's in the middle of the living room, right next to the TV and the couch, and I have not cleaned up at all. That's why it doesn't look like it's been cleaned up. So I just want to show you her cage real quick. She is over here. Let's see, I'm gonna walk around over here so you can see her better. So there she is. Hi, Vincent. Say hi to the people again. Hi. Say hi, Vincent. Hi. Vincent, wave. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. There she goes. She's kind of waving. It's kind of a half-hearted wave, but anyway. So she has this little piece of glass on this ledge here that she can walk around on, and I put the glass there because it's easier to clean. And then there's a towel under it for the dust and stuff. And she has that so she can see out the patio here on the balcony some. So I just want to show you her cage real quick. On the top she has this little playpen that she can get out and climb on. And usually when she's out of her cage, she's up there, or she's walking around on the floor finding things to chew on, because, you know, that's what they do. And down here she's got a lot of toys in her house. I just put some new ones in. She has this swing. That's the thing that she uses the most. Is here. She loves to swing, and she'll hang upside down from that. There's a little shelf back there for her to stand on. This toy here is made specifically to be chewed up. This is a new one that I put in. She's not big on rope toys and bells and things, but I thought that could be fun because it has a little spring to it, and she could get on there and move around some. This ladder is new too, and notice that it is missing a few rungs because she chewed them off. She made a big adventure. She's had that about 3 days, and she's chewed 4 of the rungs off. So that gives you an idea of what birds do with their toys, and those toys are not expensive. Bird toys are quite expensive. They're way overpriced. This block toy she's had in here for a while, so you can see how she's chewed the wood on that. And then there's another of the destroy toys down here that she chews up. And then this rope thing she doesn't really play with. This is a rope perch. And one of the important things about birds is to have perches of different sizes and textures. That helps with their feet, because in the wild they're on different branches all the time that are different sizes. So this is one that's kind of a sandpaper texture to help wear down her nails. And then this one, this long one here, just came with the cage. So I have that strung across. And then this is the one that she sits on to eat her food. There's what's left of her food today. And then she has a water bowl here. She also uses her water bowl to bathe. And sometimes I'll put a bigger container, like the bottom of a... Hey, don't eat the camera. She was chewing on it. So sometimes I'll put like one of those things on the bottom of a pot for a plant. I'll put that in there with water, or like a baking dish with water for her to take a bath. But mostly she likes to just get in that tiny little, we're being attacked. Attack of the giant bird. Mostly she just likes to bathe in that tiny water bowl, and what she does is gets in there and she'll kind of scoop some water with her head and throw it back over her and flap her wings around, and then she'll get water everywhere. And then I also wanted to show you the TV console and the dust that's on it. So we just had the apartment cleaned on Monday, and I'm filming this on Saturday, and you can see how dusty it is already. So if you're thinking about a bird, expect that to happen. Expect your place never to not be dusty. And that's about it. There's Baron. You want to say hi to Baron, guys? Hi, Baron. Everybody wants to eat the camera. Ah, might as well say hi to Sebastian too. He's over here. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian. He's my old man. He's 14. And Baron, he's jealous. That's what he is. So, and that's where I film over there, but I have a whole video about that. Another video. All right, I'm gonna go back to me and Vincent and say bye to you guys. Okay, Vincent, it's time to say bye to everybody. We've got to wrap this up, okay? There's that bird. Hi. We're all looking at you. You're the star. Oh, she's looking at the camera now. Oh, hi. Hi, star. Ooh. So, you want to say bye to the people? Say bye-bye. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'll see you later. Did you want to say anything else?
No.